tes flow, cek 1 2, tes audio tes tes tes
Strength is one of those things where you gotta use it or lose it. So, wanna... I bet the crops back in the orchard are loving this weather. Guess the Saurians won't have to water them today.
Rise with the sun!
Dissipate! Headbutt! Hero incoming!
It's a nice day, but I can't seem to shake this strange feeling. Let's just hope it's my imagination.
Drop your weapons!
Let's do this then!
Burn it!
Charge! Headbutt! It's justice o'clock! Booth! Heads up!
Rise with the sun!
Smash down! Headbutt!
Come on, shall we?
Charge! It's justice o'clock!
Stop right there!
Heads up! Woo. I bet the crops back in the orchard are loving this weather. Guess the Saurians won't have to water them today.
Salah kotak. Ih.
So nice and warm. Add up. Thank you for. Add up.
Greetings. Apologies if you overheard my harsh words just now, but I assure you it is entirely necessary. The sheer lack of standards here will be the death of me. Do you have any idea of the kind of customers I'm gonna get with how lax things are at the moment? The ones that leave their guns behind by accident, and then come back to collect them later bringing ammunition with them.
Yeah, that's the kind of customer you wouldn't forget in a hurry.
Oh!
Wait, has that happened before?
No, it's just the mention of guns reminded me. Someone did actually leave their gun nearby.
Huh?
Just before we started setting up, as we were cleaning up the site, someone stumbled upon a mysterious locked box. It didn't look like something from Fontaine, though. It had more of a Natlanese vibe.
Oh?
Do you think a foreign tourist might have left it behind?
That's what I assumed at first. But the box was buried beneath a pile of wooden planks, rocks, and whatnot, so it seemed like someone deliberately hid it there. But I didn't see much point in speculating, so the best thing I could think of was to hand it over to the authorities. I trekked all the way over to the Palais Mermonia just to hand it in. Ugh.
What did the authorities make of it?
Oh, they made a mountain out of a molehill, as usual. Before even addressing the question of what was actually inside the box, they had several heated discussions about whose responsibility it was to write the lost and found notice. Thankfully, the ever-reliable Officer Sedine stepped up and immediately called in the Marechaussee Phantom to crack the lock and check if there were any dangerous items inside. And, as it turned out, there was a gun.
Wow, that's a dangerous item, all right.
Mind if I ask what kind of gun it was?
Oh yeah, Mr. Kanich, you're from Natlan, aren't you? Do you know a lot about—
You could say it comes with the job. I have an interest in weaponry and the like.
Ugh, such a spoiled brat. What, are the toys I gave you not good enough for you anymore?
Yep, got sick of those long ago.
You little... How dare you turn your nose up at my gifts? What?
Time for a timeout, old-timer. Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, do you recall what the gun looked like?
It's a bit hard to describe. If you ask me, it didn't even really look like a gun. Give me a second. I'll knock out a quick sketch. Something like...
Whoa, it's so neat and precise.
Sorry. Is something... I know it doesn't really look like a gun, but and it certainly could shoot as well, too. I confirmed that with the officer from the Marechaussee Phantom.
No, quite the opposite. The features are very accurate. And please, don't mind me. I'm just taking a moment to admire.
I should be the one thanking you. Thank you, and everyone else for your support.
Don't mention it. Besides, we haven't really done anything.
Not at all! The buzz and excitement you guys bring is exactly what this event needs. Oh dear, I'm starting to feel a bit guilty watching everyone else toil away. But just before I go, one last thing. Traveler, it's wonderful to see you. Here's to a successful collaboration.
I'm sure you noticed that there was something unusual about that gun. Correct. It's most likely an old weapon dug up from some ancient drag. Based on my experience, it might be more accurate to refer to it as a hand cannon. But in Fontaine terms, it's not wrong to call it a gun. Given why I came here, don't you think it's curious that an ancient dragon relic of unknown origin would turn up like this, out of the blue? I suspect this gun might... Time is of the essence, so I'd like to head over to the Palais Mermonia to verify my suspicions. Perfect. Then we can head out right away. Or, if you want to catch up with your friends first, I can wait.
Oh, man. Bro! Are you mimicking me?
No, I mean, one of our buddies is here, for real. Quite a few of them, actually.
Aurora and Aoife, what brings you to Fontaine?
Huh? How come you're... Ah, I'm guessing Kenichi's here because of that international smuggling case, right? Huh?
Word sure gets around quickly, huh?
First time abroad and you're already making headlines.
Oh, stop it. It's not like I was the center of attention.
Wasn't expecting to see the Traveler and Paimon here too, though.
Come on, Aoife.
Huh?
A traveler, by definition, is someone who travels around.
Fair point. Anyway, back on topic. Wait a second. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about again?
Why you're all here, of course.
For vegetables.
Kikuku. Huh?
I'll go first. It's for the Chevrolamine Film Fantasyland. Wait.
It's Cheval Moran.
Ah, right. I keep stumbling over that one. Guess I owe Cheval Moran an apology, even if she's not here. Anyway, long story short, the festival restaurant urgently needed fresh vegetables from Natland, which is why Aoife and
So, you guys are...
He is. I'm just here as a responsible adult. It's his first time traveling so far away from home, and all the elders in his tribe were worried. So they had me come along.
even though it's your first time too.
Right, but they still picked me to accompany you. You gotta wonder why that might be.
Don't you get it? They all just saw how overworked you were, so they used it as an excuse to send you off on a vacation.
Wait, what? So I'm getting the grandson treatment now too? See? Doesn't matter how much older you are than this dude. Hang out with him long enough, and you'll eventually find yourself being treated like a kid.
Meaning everyone looks after you. What's so bad?
In theory, nothing at all. In that case, guess I better start over. Hi guys, my name's Aoife, and I just turned 5.
Paimon's not sure who the responsible adult is anymore. So, what about Kakuku? If he was here, we'd be making more of a ruckus than we are.
Aoife, there's nothing to worry about. You're a big boy. You can handle yourself now even without Kakuku.
You think that's what I'm worried about? Anyway, suffice it to say, Kakuku's...
How so? He's so small, and all he knows are a few harmless phrases. What kind of...
Let me guess. Did he get caught?
Bro, you too?
Not me.
Oh, that pesky little chatterbox. So that's why he hasn't interrupted us this whole time. Guess he's too scared to show his face.
That, plus he's already spouted enough nonsense for one day. So I've put him on mute until...
Nice one. If I was even half as decisive as you are, I would have kept a closer hold on Kakuku so he didn't get a chance to go flying off.
Oh no, bro. Or rather... Did Kakuku get caught by the guards for flying?
If they had managed that, we'd at least be able to track him down. But when the guards started chasing him, Kakuku flew into that building. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a high-stakes pursuit going down in there as we speak.
Which... that one?
Yup, that's the one. Kakuku sure has a good eye for a getaway. It's the tallest build. I may be able to fly up pretty high, but checking every last window would still take quite a while. As for Aoife, well, let's just say he's not flying anywhere.
Not like it's my fault, though.
Wait a sec. What's this got to do with how high you can fly? Kakuku's got himself into a real mess here. Like a panicked animal running straight into a trap. I'm starting to picture him flapping through a barrage of gunfire while important documents are flying up.
Heck yeah! If anyone can pull it off, it's Kakuku. He's always been such an awesome Saurus.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
Of course I'm for real. I'd never make
All right. Everyone's an awesome Saurus. Well, the human. But our priority right now should be to go in there and check up on Kakuku.
Leave it to us.
You sure? Wow, awesome. That'll be a...
And if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
Wait, since when was that up to you?
Well, then it's your call, bro.
All right then, if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I also give you permission to pull out a couple of his
There you go. If he objects to that, tell him to come find us.
He won't. Trust me.
Wah, ntar. Hold on.
No.
Get out of here!
I can understand his words, just not what they mean.
Oh no.
He keeps repeating the same things over and over again.
Oh, you know one another.
He's a friend. Yeah, a saurian friend of a human friend.
Great. Well, that was easy. Looks like we've tracked down the owner. Guess that's one less lost and found notice for you to write, Monsieur Neuvillette.
For real?
Traveler, was there something important you wanted to discuss with... I'm just about done with my business here. Need me to
Stay and hear them out first. Perhaps it will have some bearing on your own work. If I'm not mistaken, you are the same Mr. Kanich who served as a witness in the smuggling trial? I take it there's been a further development in...
That's right. Very perceptive, Mr. Udex.
So you've met Neuvillette before? But wasn't the trial overseen by another judge?
I've seen his photo in the papers. But as for this other gentleman...
Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Wriothesley, administrator of the Fortress of Meripede. Or in layman's terms, Fontaine's prison warden. Please, feel free to share anything about the case. There's no...
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you!
Wow, that sounded just like me. But should we really discuss official business in front of the Saurian?
Oh wow, oh no!
I believe he said... Or rather, I suppose he meant that he'll keep this to himself. Though I should mention, Mr. Kukuku, that we will have to ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Sure thing, bro!
Let us return to the matter at hand. Mr. Kanich, was there something else you wanted to discuss relating to the...
Yes. Let me fill you in.
Wow! It really is exactly like Lapine Pauline's sketch! That must be all that practice drawing engineering blueprints, huh?
So if it's true that this weapon came into Fontaine alongside the contraband from the smuggling case, then there's a high chance we
That's exactly my line of thought.
I see. Mr. Kanich, thank you for reporting this promptly. I'll arrange for the Marechaussee Phantom to investigate right away. We should begin by questioning the prisoners in custody. Wriothesley.
I'll sign off on the interrogation request.
That would be much appreciated.
It's lucky that the Palais Mermonia wasn't scheduled to release any public bulletins today, and that this guns lost and found notice hasn't been written.
I'll be staying in Fontaine for the time being. If there's any progress in the investigation or you need my help, feel free to reach out anytime.
Yep, we were just about to go help out with Lapine Pauline's convention. If there's any...
Marvelous. Thank you all. Well then, all that's left is to...
You miss me, bro?
He really does come out with the most unexpected things. Who did he learn it all from? Huh. Well, it's pretty extraordinary.
Anyway, according to due process, we must first determine whether Mr. Kukuku qualifies as a flying object. And, following on from our conversation just now, he also needs to sign a confidentiality. Drafting said agreement may take some time.
Looks like you'll be staying with us for a while then, Kukuku. Excited?
That would save us a lot of trouble. Many thanks.
All right then, we'd better get going. No need to...
I know you mentioned a while back that people from Nadland would soon start showing up all over the world. But I hadn't expected any—
It seems no matter where they come from, all dragons are inquisitive by nature.
You can say that again, bro!
The same might well be said for humankind. The real reason you chose to stay to investigate this case was your curiosity about Natlan and...
Guilty as charged. Nothing gets past you. So, how about we take this opportunity to chat a little more? We've got the world's best translator.
Sure thing, bro.
What's the situation? How bad is it? Oh no. When I saw that Kakuku wasn't with you, I'd already prepared myself for the worst.
Relax, Aoife. Maybe Kakuku just prefers high-rise living now. Sometimes you just have to let the kids grow up and make their own choices and...
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
It's not that bad. Kakuku's fine. Still very much alive and kicking for starters.
He hasn't been arrested either, so no jail time.
See?
You're not exactly reassuring me here.
As for the bad news, well, it's really not. Kakuku accidentally overheard some top secret stuff, so he has to stay at the Palais Mermonia for a while to sign. But there's no need to worry. The person in charge of looking after Kakuku is super nice, so he'll be absolutely fine.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad after all.
But based on my understanding of how things work here, the ban on flying objects should be over by the time Kakuku actually gets out.
What a shame. Oh.
You don't look disappointed in the slightest.
Anyway, Auroron and I will be staying in guest rooms upstairs at the Hotel de Boer for the time being. Feel free to drop by if you need us.
Yay! Problem solved!
Aduh, salah. Oh, ini apaan? Wah, iya harus tugasnya questnya dia dulu ya.
Huh? Is that Navia over there? Oh, it's been a while. Let's go say hi. Hey, Navia, what you up to?
Shh! Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly!
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say.
Wait! Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're
Savannah,
Is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business.
Overworked? I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Vermont can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside!
Huh? But you said...
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you! Come on, we have work...
Wow! What a
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I don't...
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us. Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working condition. And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned...
Oh, shoot! It all makes sense now.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I would have... And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage. Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh, I might as well head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. Well,
Paimon will join you, cause this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
Oh, guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if you were a really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Monica's the one apologizing?
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
All right. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it.
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
A little highly strung, huh?
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head?
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this. But...
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come on, huh? Find... Escoffier?
Escoffier? Could this mean...
Huh? You know that name, Nadia?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre.
So, who is this Escoffier, anyway?
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer. Before she recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history.
Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Where the heck would she let Savannah...
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu. But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility. And she was sent.
The Fortress of Mirrorbead?
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an... Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned...
So that's what happened.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still so... I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out. It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well...
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove. You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got?
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Yes, Chef.
Excuse us, sir?
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef. Well, in her words, the Hotel de Boer doesn't need her anymore.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Fiamma. That's the
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia! I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion, Paimon. Yes? Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We're here to talk about Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pest. But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid, even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either. Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across... Fiamara and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from...
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation.
Oh, Monica.
I can't believe her!
Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable! I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
Wait, so now she's,
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Wait, she looks like... Is that a Scoffier?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay, I know. I'll kneel before you.
What the heck?
Get up, Monica. Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel so-
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the kitchen, I can't do the dish.
that's some backwards logic? How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then...
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's because chefs...
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did. We all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not...
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then, that wasn't on you. That banquet was a huge event.
And so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? What's that?
เอาอะ
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute,
เอาอะ
produced from an extract of the lumitwell. Apparently, it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired response.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guard's list. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminant, but you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running hot. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef? So, you do remember who's boss? Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good.
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned—
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Bluey Lotus as an off-brand markup, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this.
Huh? Fan Asian?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tete-a-tete between chefs at the Hotel de Boer, I dare say...
The traditional way? That can only mean...
That's right! I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic... The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. Sounds like they had a lot of free...
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts. And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming...
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back?
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply...
Exhibition. Huh. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Boer to me.
What? The Codex de Boer?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Boer. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel de Boer have the right to read it.
Present and former? Wait, but that already includes...
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the original?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift, to thank Escoffier for her years of service.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they? And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Bourg, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier,
You sound surprisingly confident. Alright then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
believe me, I'll show you.
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
Oh.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. What?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really...
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modest's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous... For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever... Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius, and over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like...
What? No, of course not! Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that even then it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liyue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe...
It did, but like I said, it's a dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modest wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the codex. But as for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Venishem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh. Huh. Well,
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows, maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hotel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so... could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg is the true head chef?
Well, it was clearly maybe from her point of view. It's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Venishem.
What? Huh. Guess she's had...
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our gâteau do the... It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula. However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of...
Well, that's easy! The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need...
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards.
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler. So?
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with...
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your... Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or...
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds, a kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature, but this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool! No, weird.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I processed all the fruit you chopped up
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all
absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch.
Finally on the right path.
Slowly. And voila! Now it's your turn. Not terrible, considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, but the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try. That goes without saying. Still, credit where credit's due. You did well. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel de Boer's current menu. I'll judge. That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. How's it going? Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say.
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but...
6 points.
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all...
That's 6 out of 100.
Oh, gelo.
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than by that logic. I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Me next, me next. I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar.
Aww.
Now to the final dish.
So,
This is our last hope.
8 points.
Darn! That's barely...
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even 9 points.
What? How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your... I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not...
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square.
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining.
Chef Escoffier.
Oh, it's Hilaire! What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're
And you think you're a...
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma? Last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bourg kitchen. So if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's...
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Bourg?
I have not, but... Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
What do you call this, Firma?
I can't seem to grip my...
Do it again! Again! Again!
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then Will I never be able to work in a...
Dad, talk to me. What happened?
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological.
Monica, when did you get here?
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your... But anyway, Firma, I'm so sorry. If only I...
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was so ruthless toward you. I probably should have brought you something stronger.
She sounds like the worst. All right, another Savannah?
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it. In the trash now!
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another...
Either straighten yourself out...
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her.
Oh, man.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't a quitter when you were working for me. And even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself.
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am...
Dad...
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to...
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect gâteau.
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing.
And so will I.
Yeah! And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency call for chefs. There's gotta be...
Actually, I thought maybe I could help. That's...
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then... well...
You do this for us? Thank you so much, Monica.
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the other side seems like a
I know, but it's all right. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Fermat. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive me for that.
Well, Hyman didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway, Monica's a professional chef, so nothing could possibly...
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team, I propose...
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promised the traveler a feast and a...
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
All right, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives. That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
Deh.
That was a dream come true. Hyman never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
I wish I could eat that all over again. It's not often that Escoffier goes all out like this. And it's all because of you, Traveler.
So, this is what Chef Escoffier is truly...
Why, Savannah? Why? Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original Codex de Boer. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savannah's so... But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing. Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah I knew would go to all the steps we were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief. Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to... I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex. Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Bourg, Savelli. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Bourg and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame slowly, unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut, and with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured. Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, and that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. Their story, just one rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends. Unlikely, it's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no records of Savelli ever being convicted of a crime. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the present doesn't... And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut. You're right about that. Just follow my lead and victory